Next on WTF, we have the baby.
We have the toughest baby in Carbondale. Is she always just this good for you all of the time, or she's like no?
About 90% of the time.
90% of the time.
Yeah.
When she needs something, it's evident.
Yeah,
She's
right
not
now
shy.
she's good. She's happy.
I really could just do this for an hour. I feel like this would be the most compelling piece of content I've made yet. If it's just the cutest little baby making the cutest little sounds for a solid hour, we win the internet.
Absolutely.
What do you think Carbondale needs?
Babies, man, they're great at bringing the joy.
we need more grunts. I'm just waiting
Can you
for
see
it.
us down there, love? Peace.
Look, that's you.
You gotta see yourself.
That's Mama, Papa, and Peace.
Not yet. She'll get there.
She'll be in the middle of it. She'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with myself over there." Oh man! And this brings us to episode 14 of the WTF Carbondale podcast. I have Cree Marquez, who did I pronounce it correctly this time, or did I
You
still
got
butcher it? Okay, cool. Thank you. And I'm gonna every time I pronounce your name, I'm gonna ask you again, like, did I say it correctly? Because I'm that awful a person. And their lovely child, Masterpeace, who is going to be the highlight of this episode, where we interview interesting people about their interesting lives, and we tie it all back to this little place we call home here in Carbondale, Illinois. Thank you all for doing the show.
Yes.
Thank you, Nathan. Thanks for
Yes.
having us.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for inviting us.
So how long have you been in Carbondale for? Like, when did you first...
Well, I have been here since 2015.
Oh, okay.
So coming up on 6 years.
Nice.
I came here for school originally and have stayed here building a business with my lovely partner, Marquez.
Nice.
Myself, I came here in 2014. Man, I can say that I've been here for close to 6 years now. It's been a great time.
Oh, that's cool. And I'm sorry, I probably should have said before the podcast, I don't always go through all this stuff. It's kind of interview format, like just us talking back and forth, and the camera kind of picks it up at an angle. So you guys, if you want to talk directly to the camera, please do. Feel comfortable, however you.
Okay, I
however
was
you
looking
want
at
to.
the camera.
Yeah, I totally I first looked at it, I was like, oh no, they're looking right at the camera. I didn't say anything. Shame on me, I'm a bad host. No, and just coming off the heels of the interview with Randall and Megan, and they just moved here in March, and I was like, oh, did you guys just move here too and open the business? But no, you guys have been here for a while, so you get Carbondale. It's not just you guys came to town and you opened a business and now you're here. It's y'all are ingrained.
Yeah, we're in deep now.
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah, you're in deep too. You were born here.
People will ask you questions when you are older. Where were you born? They'll ask you that for all sorts of different reasons. And what are you going to tell them?
Carbondale.
We're going to teach you microphones at an early age, Masterpiece. That is a Shure SM58. It is the standard in wireless
She will
microphones.
not sit still.
We just look it all around. Now I've got to be more entertaining on my end. If I'm not keeping attention, shame on me.
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
All right, unicorn coming in.
Unicorn going out. Oh, oh. Ah.
Nice.
So you guys both came here for school.
Yes.
Were you pursuing anything similar to what the project Human X Project has been when you came to school, or was schooling kind of a completely different direction than what this project is?
That's a great question. I guess you can connect anything to anything.
Yeah.
You know, I came to SIU with the intention of becoming a lawyer. So I studied political science and long-term vision, becoming the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And my passion was to help human beings that I felt like were underserved and they didn't receive the justice that they needed within the judicial system that we have here in America. And, you know, fast forward to where we are now with Project Human X, which is, you know, an art center and gallery. I'd say that the connection is still helping people and just being there as a way to put people in a better position than what they were in before. So some, you know, big difference, but still connected.
For myself, I came to Southern Illinois University to study anthropology. And anth is the study of human beings. Specifically, I loved primatology, so I wanted to study monkeys. And that doesn't really have anything to do with an art business. But what developed was during my studies at SIU, I studied abroad, and I went to Madagascar in Africa to study lemurs, and I developed a new love for actually learning about culture within the people that were there, learning their language, and just being with people and learning how to make people happy. So while I was there, I had a project that infused art and developing the environment with locals. And I gave an art experience to local children in Madagascar. So when I came back to the States after that trip, I realized that I wanted to do the same thing for the long term in my own community before I do it somewhere else in another country or even another state or another city. Like, I felt like I needed to give back to my own community, and I was good at giving this art experience to people and connecting with people. So that's where the connection is. The anthropology, the art. It started out with monkeys, but it turned into an art business.
Right. I mean, arguably, evolution is where we all started out.
Yeah.
You know, the meme that's like, that first fish that crawled out of the ocean and onto land. Like, that's where all this started.
Right. That was me, like, loving monkeys. And like, art, people. Yes.
I dig that. And on the other side of things, the art and justice, there was a piece on NPR earlier today that was talking about a woman somewhere on the East Coast that is selling like high-end fine art, you know, the type of stuff that's selling for 500 or a million or whatever umpteen large amounts of dollars, and actually using that to fund restorative justice projects of some sort. And it's like, okay, cool. So that's what this is. Like, this is high-end, rich people, artsy stuff that's all pointed towards, like, how do we actually help people with this transaction that we're participating in. So there's just as much of a connection. Like, we can all draw lines and find a way where the two intersect. So I dig that.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that.
And y'all, I mean, baby, obviously, I'm just gonna jump right into the baby questions.
Okay.
Baby
question.
What do you like about being new parents, and what is, like, I don't know, being new parents in a pandemic world been like? Like, oh my god.
Well, one thing I love about being a parent is being able to be goofy, like She loves it when we mimic her. I could do that all day with her. We just lose time and worries. I was told a lot of things like before you become a parent you're gonna have to do this and then you're not gonna be able to do this anymore and your whole life's gonna end, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like I mean I've always wanted to be a parent anyways, so it's pretty easy. And the pandemic part the pandemic part makes it challenging, but I am not, how do I put it? I'm not surprised that I've become a new parent in this time, because I always knew that the type of mother that I am, I know that I can take on anything, and anything will be a breeze because I love my child and my family. So when she was born, March 10th, which was like right before everything like shut down, and we were getting the news of it coming, I wasn't really surprised. I was like, wow, my baby is being born. Back then it felt like, is this going to be the end of the world? And I was like, okay, I'm ready. And I kind of foresaw this. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I'll sign up for that. No, but I mean that there are.
I do have a perspective as well. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, sure.
Thank you for sharing that. I'd say it's been. I really don't feel fazed by it. Like Cree said, in any conditions, I'm going to be the greatest father. I'm going to be here to love my daughter, and son, should I have a son in the future.
She said, "Excuse me."
I'll comment on that later.
We'll get into the marriage counseling portion next. I said, just had quite the session with Megan and Randall, so I'm already hyped up on that.
Like, what did we sign up for?
But yeah, like originally, like Cree said, there was definitely this, feeling of like, could this be the end of the world?
Yeah.
You have to question it, and we did so much research into what was happening, especially with having a baby. It's a completely different ball game, and because there's the the myth that babies have weak immune systems. So the last thing anybody wants to hear when having a baby is that there's a virus spreading throughout the world.
Yeah.
So that definitely did put us on our I guess you could say tippy toes to like protect our daughter. But like there's something that interests me.
I want to clarify, like she doesn't. I know you think she doesn't have a weak immune system. She just has a developing immune system.
Absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're a good husband.
Thank you.
You're like, to the crowd.
And I gotta have his back, like. Just to clarify.
What interests me the most is that babies have developing immune systems, yet there's not a lot of babies that are being affected by this situation. It's like you go to the grocery stores and the babies don't have masks on. The babies like they're okay, and it makes you really like wonder like, okay, what is really going on right now? Like the babies are cool to go in the stores and places without masks. Everybody else does. The babies are surviving. They're just fine. Yeah. Like they have a 99.99% chance of surviving. So that has definitely brought us a tremendous amount of reassurance with this situation. So, you know, it was scary, but now we feel comfortable.
Yeah. Well, and you guys have to live it out. I mean, there is no. You've been only essentially pandemic parents, right? The whole time. Like, this is the life. There's no being scared of it. We gotta live it. And there ain't no choice here. Like, let's go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and the quarantine happened right after she was born. So it was a bummer that, I mean, you know, a quarantine's happening in the first place, and we had to close down Project Human X for a couple months. But we always try to find the bright side of things, and after birth, you know, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so is she.
Yeah.
And we got to spend so much time with her.
The world just kind of let you have that instead of forcing you back out into
Working.
transaction territory.
Yeah.
Have to run the business. Like the world said, it's on pause right now.
She got all of our attention nonstop. Even though she still goes with us everywhere.
Yeah.
We needed time to rest. I needed time to rest after birth. So that was nice. Thanks, pandemic.
There's a bright side to everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the, you know, the goals that we have in life. It's like when something bad happens, okay, what was the bright side?
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, you know, so much, you know, thanks to everybody that's working through this situation, the doctors, the nurses, and everyone else to save lives and protect lives. And, you know, rest in peace to everyone that has... Okay. She wants to dance? All right. We did so much dancing when she was born. Yeah, it was fun. She likes this dance called the Papa Mama Bounce.
Oh, it's like she almost broke right into it.
Yeah.
She heard pop, and then that was it. Feet going the right direction. So how long before the pandemic has Project Human X been open for? I mean, you talked about having to run into that, and you know, blessed with the time for family, but also the struggle of having to address a group centric business like what you guys run. I start off with the question, how long have you been in business for it? But really the question that we get to is like, what has the experience having not just to raise the baby at the start of the pandemic, but raise a business at the start of the pandemic too been like?
Yeah, a business is like a baby. Yeah, we got the keys to the space where we were building Project Human X in September of 2019. And, you know, it took us a while to renovate the space. Me and Cree literally did just about everything. And we had help from community members as well. We took, you know, all of our savings that we've made, you know, until this point. I'm 24, she's 23, both went to college, so you could imagine there's not, you know, much after that.
No, there's only debt after college.
Yeah,
that's
you
all
know,
there is after college.
I was pregnant at the time.
Pregnant, you know, so we opened in November. On November 15th, that's when we opened Project Human X. And so with that being said, we closed our doors. It was March 20th. That's whenever we came to the realization, okay, this is becoming serious. We need to protect ourselves, our daughter, and the community as well. So we were only open for just about 4 months to start with. Okay.
Okay. All right. What do you want, baby? Get up and down.
All right.
That was phenomenal.
Okay. See, I love that baby. Oh, she wants to explore. Okay.
Oh, now the smiles are there. Oh man.
Okay. But to finish off this question, Project Human X would not survive without people. Like we definitely are a event business, and it has impacted us tremendously. You know, we shut down for just about 3 months, and you know things started to open back up slowly. We started noticing restaurants opening, bars opening, and then we were like, okay, it's I think it's about time for us to get back in the ball game, because if we don't, we're not going to be able to open up again in general. And we opened our business, and we without a doubt seen a major change. Like we were seeing less than 50% of what we were seeing when we first opened. And it's been the greatest challenge as a business owner, especially having a new daughter, and a new business. So we've just been having faith. I can without a doubt say this situation has forced us to become more creative than we've ever been, and that's another bright side to it. And we're just super thankful for everyone that has supported us, that has left their homes to come and have a good time at Project Human X. And yeah, so much gratitude.
Yeah, you guys have been helping us stay open. Thank you, if you're watching this.
And so you guys are fundraising now as well, looking to keep the longevity of the business. If you can raise what you're looking for, what kind of a runway does that give you guys on the other end of this? And I guess another good question is too, like now with the rollbacks that we're in, do you know if that technically affects you guys? Or I mean, you're not a bar or restaurant, you don't serve food or do those, do anything that classifies you in that service. Is there still an ability for you guys to operate when other things may not be?
The new rollback, we checked it out, and we can still operate.
Okay.
But we still have to have a limited amount of guests.
Oh, absolutely.
So back in the day before the pandemic, we used to have, as many guests as we wanted, but we'd do like 60. That was the capacity. Now we stick to 18. The rollback, I think, says 25, but we're doing 18.
Yeah. Well, that's reasonable. Does that room up there? I mean, I remember it in multiple iterations. Do those windows open to like allow for fresh airflow into the space? So, cool. So you've got good, at least some good infrastructure options there. Keeping. It's all about that airflow and circulation. Like
Absolutely.
if you can get fresh air in and old air out, safety is increased.
Yeah, absolutely. We have 3 windows in our space that we keep open during events.
Nice.
And then we got the front door and back door, which we open up as well. And then we invested. Okay.
I wish you could see her right now.
Yeah, we got another camera specifically for Masterpiece.
I messed up. I should have been better prepared.
Next time. We know next time.
That's right.
But yeah, we like even.
Keep talking.
Yeah. Even with the financial stress we've been experiencing, we made a big investment into some air purifiers.
Great.
That cleanse the air of viruses and bacteria, and we put one in the front of the art center and one in the back, just as like another precautionary measure, just to make our guests feel comfortable. And we definitely did not have the money to spend on that, but we were just like, you know what? It's all about making people feel safe, and also ourselves feel safe as well, because we're in a vulnerable position. We're literally putting ourselves out here in the community, serving everyone, so that we can feed our daughter, feed ourselves. So yeah, that's that's another thing that we're doing.
You guys are. I love how young you guys are too. Like, and just going for it. Like it's not like not everybody understands how difficult it is to be in your early 20s and like pursue business of any sorts, right? And whether it's by yourself, as a couple, or with business partners. And so I got to commend you guys on that too. Like taking the jump early on, it's tough. I mean, do you feel like age has been an inhibitor at all for you guys? Do you feel like it's been more empowering to be like young and go and get this, and like watching people just respect you because you're young and have the tenacity for business? Or
I forget that I have an age sometimes.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way.
No.
Yeah.
I forget sometimes too. Sometimes people are like, "Whoa, you're in your 20s and doing this?" Like it's a little confusing. And they might be in a bit of a denial at first, like, there must be somebody else, like a puppet or something, or maybe you're older. But I've always had the mindset that I have to work for myself, and I mean, my philosophy is it's never too late. But since I know that already, why not start right now?
Yeah.
And I know that what I create will do good for humanity, and I want to do good things with my inner power and abundance that will be created. So why shouldn't I give it a shot? I mean, you can only try.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. That was a great compliment.
God, I'm glad are you videoing her right now? Is she on?
Yeah, I am.
I'm glad that you're picking up this component to the. Sorry, hey, don't get out of there. Get out of there.
Is she touching something?
No, she's just she's touching on the railing stuff. I just it may be dirty, but if you're good with her getting dusty and dirty,
Yeah,
I think
let's
we're
scoot her
fine.
over.
Okay. Not too many germs. Just a couple germs, baby.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
We're trying to teach her how to crawl.
She's getting there. This may be the point at which like it all goes down.
If she started
really
crawling
cool.
today, we'd have to put the camera on her.
Yeah,
It would be
no,
an awesome moment.
If that happens, I'll come up there and we'll break characters. So one of my tricks is like I don't really talk about where we film just because that's my agreement with the folks that I work with. Right, is that like okay, it's the WTF Carbondale. It's a standalone thing. Like I pay rent for the space and whatever else, so everything's kosher. But if she starts to crawl, or if she stands up, I mean, I'm sitting here watching, and people are probably like, "Why are you quit talking about this guy? Just like give us the podcast." But it's like, man, we're sitting here watching this child do everything it can to just stand up or crawl, and the sheer happiness is amazing.
Oh
Whoa,
my!
whoa, whoa, whoa.
She's really pulling for it.
Okay.
She's like, gotcha.
I know
guys."
she can get in the position. She still needs to learn how to.
Yeah.
Probably
Do
give
this.
like a fall right over and like, where's my balance? Woof.
She gets excited every time. Oh, almost got it.
I don't even remember.
She's like, I got the power.
That's three podcasts in a row with He-Man Masters of the Universe references in it. So thank you for rounding out. I have the power. I don't even. It's been so long since my kids were of just getting to walk age. I don't even remember what it was like the first call. Is like now they walk around and keep themselves up on their own 2 feet all of the time.
Yeah. Hey, you're still walking.
Right? Hey, yeah, you haven't done something
Wow.
stupid enough to lose a leg yet. No.
What is there to look forward to? I mean, there's tons of things. But
Oh yeah, but
I
like,
guess
why would you want to let a baby grow up any bigger than what the baby is? I can get that.
changing diapers. Oh, I love to change your diapers, though. I do, baby. I do. Yes, I do. Did we answer
Yeah.
those last two questions? I think we did.
Huh? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's all conversational. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I'm just as apt to spend the next half an hour just looking at this baby and like making chatter around how adorable this child is, while nobody else other than the folks that are on your end can see. I mean, she's really like rolling forward, like she's working to get up on her legs and like push herself up.
Yeah.
And this could just be the wildest thing that happens right now.
She looks like a ballet. Like, are you stretching? You stretching? Come here, come to mommy. Come on, come to mommy. Or go to the unicorn. Or mommy.
Keep it going.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna
dang.
go over there.
It's like the second that she rolls over that left leg, she's gonna be going.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
she'll
yeah.
Be like, oh, I figured this out now.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're game on.
Yeah. Yeah. She's just getting stronger every day.
Yeah.
She's now like in her little bassinet. She'll grab onto the edge and pull herself up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the greatest thing to watch. And she'll just be laughing like, wow, yeah, do you guys see me? You see what I'm doing?
You guys have any the bouncer? Do you guys have any like the bouncer
Yeah,
stuff?
we have it. We just haven't taken it out the box yet.
That I've seen. I can feel that. Still trying to figure out. Well, we bought this and we knew we were going to need it, but when are we going to pull it out of the box? No, I get that. Oh man, when she does get in that though, and the bouncing up and down, it's gonna be like just pure leg strength. Every day will be leg day.
You know what?
And then we're gonna
It's
talk
time
about
to
some
take it
walking,
out the
some
box.
crawling.
You're right. It's time to work them legs out.
Okay. All right. I got my moment. My mommy moment.
There you go, mommy moments. Big deal. You're gonna be a star, child. You're gonna be a star.
I had to get that. Masterpiece is on stage.
And I'm sure. Are there any cousins or? Oh man, we're getting so close, so close. Oh, just roll just like an inch further over that left leg, and you're there.
Yeah.
Any cousins or any kids that are near age for her that she'll get a chance to grow up with, or?
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to Teshi. One of her besties out here in Carbondale.
Mm-hmm. Getting ready to turn 1 year old.
Yeah, his birthday's coming up.
Oh, that's great.
My cousin, got pregnant shortly after I had Masterpiece. She thought that Masterpiece was so cute. So I need to go have a baby too.
When you actually catch the baby fever.
Yeah. So
we thought COVID was big out here.
people say like they're gonna catch baby fever by looking at Masterpiece. So sometimes they are like, okay, I need to stop looking at her. I'm like, okay. But that's Malaya, and she's gonna be born in January. And shout out to Amelia. Mm-hmm. Amelia is 1, right?
I believe she is 1.
Yeah. So she's got a little baby gang out here.
Good.
She little
Baby
baby
gang.
baby
That's
gang,
good.
gang.
We run these strollers. That's right. You tell us.
They actually created a piece of art not too long ago. We dipped their feet in paint and held them in the air, and they just did their little thing with their legs and created this really cool.
Yeah, they're just looking at each other, making noises, dancing on the canvas with their feet.
Yeah, I'm surprised one of them didn't break it, because babies go with their legs and didn't make a hole in it.
Well, in a digital world where everything is, polished and cleaned up through a lens, it's like something that's got presence of the hand, or in this case presence of the feet, I guess. like there's something to be said for like capturing a moment that way in a way that is abstract versus capturing it in a way that is like just a one-to-one physical representation of something through media, right? So I guess where I'm going with that one is, do you feel like that's a big part of what you're doing, is like working with people to capture like moments in time for them through the art without having to do it in, wherever I set my phone at, without the cell phone aspect of it, without the gotta take a picture, gotta take a video. It's like, no, you're gonna take home something and hang it on your wall.
Yes, I like what you just said. Just like it expanded my imagination, because I just realized we really do get people to put their phones down.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
I hadn't thought about that.
Of course, people, they do take pictures in our art gallery because they're surrounded by beauty, and there's videos that are taken. But for the most part, people are just engaged in their painting. They're engaged in conversation with other people that are creating as well. And my favorite part about what we're doing is, one, we're teaching people how to create new things or providing them a space to explore their own imagination. But that piece of art, when they take it home, like you said, normally you take a picture and then you capture that memory that way. But when you look at the painting, it reminds you of the memory that you had while creating it. You get to think about, I was there with, my family or my friends, and I remember the laughs and the things we were talking about and how I felt. So it provides a good memory. So
Yeah, some people's paintings might make them laugh. You look at it, ha ha ha. I remember that. And then someone's like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Oh, you wouldn't look at it." And one of my favorite parts is it reminds people that they can do something.
Yeah.
Like some people come in not knowing how to paint, which is valid. I didn't know how to paint at a point in time. And they leave with a really cool work of art. They're like, oh, wow, I did that. And it shows your potential. And this is like not super duper advanced either. Like if you keep it up, you'll have a skill on your hands. It's really cool having a space where we can teach people a skill that can benefit them emotionally. They can even profit off of it too. And that feels really good. It feels good helping people learn how to just do something new that they didn't think that they could do before.
Yeah.
And like boost their self-esteem. I love seeing that. The self-esteem boost, the confidence that comes in it. Because when you take this piece of art home and you put it on your wall, and then like you have like, I don't know, a date come over and be like, oh, look at that, that's really cool. And you're like, well, yeah, well, I did that. I'm like, oh. And
is that how you lassoed Marquez? Like, is that how this worked? Did you walk in and you were like, oh, look at this art on your walls? That's nice. And she was like, I did that. And you're like, all right, well.
So with that being said, I guess this would be a great time to talk about how I did fall in love with this lovely woman. So it what you just said is funny. Like it's similar to how we met. So what happened?
I'm loving all of this. Everything about this right now. Like, you're trying to be like, cool, the baby's going. She's sitting here just being in love with both of you guys. And I'm just soaking up the scene right now. It's something special, man.
This is exactly what it's like at Project Human X.
I didn't mean to cut you off, man, but
yeah, so where should I start? Well, I'll get straight to the beginning.
No.
So one day, me and my business partner, Joshua Bowens, we had the bright idea of hosting what we... Okay, Okay, I think it's time. I'll get
Can
it.
you hear her?
I'll pick it up.
Can you?
One second.
I didn't know if she was.
Having
Like,
fun or having
yeah.
something to say.
Sometimes she's like, ah, ah, ah. Oh, hi, baby. You're smiling. You just wanted to be held.
She's like, hey, I hung out with myself by myself long enough now.
You like your 80s leggings?
Here. Okay. Okay, my love.
She said, give me that. What you doing with my unicorn? What you doing with my unicorn, Daddy? What you doing? Give me my unicorn back. I know,
All
I
right.
see it. I love
So
it.
we started hosting art parties, and the goal was to bring people in our community together in a way where it wasn't surrounded by drinking or smoking, the normal ways that people get together in Carbondale, and we just wanted to experiment and see would people have fun coming together and making art. So what we did is we put canvases on all of the walls of one of my friend's apartments, and we invited people. We had a table full of art supplies, and the guests would be allowed to take whatever they like and create whatever they like. Okay. And so during the first art party experience that we hosted, the lovely Cree walked through the door, and I still remember the moment like it was yesterday. She walked through the door with one of her friends, and I was like, okay, yeah, I like her. That's the woman that I want to talk to tonight. And she started working on a canvas, and I mean she was just her creativity was just flowing, and it's one of the most magical things to watch someone in the creative zone, and it was the color she was using, the passion that she was using while creating. I just loved every moment of it. And all I could think to myself is, I want to get to know her. I want to talk to her. And so the dilemma that I was facing was I didn't want to interrupt her creative flow at the same time. So, I was tending to everyone. I'm hosting the event, so I'm making sure everybody's good. I'm still checking on her, watching this beautiful piece of art develop. And then I finally came up with this smooth idea to
This smooth idea. It sounds smooth. When you call it a smooth idea, ooh, man. Extra creamy peanut butter ahead.
So you can only do this at an art party. You can only use this pickup line at an art party. So I walked up to her and I said, would it be okay if I held your palette?
Whoosh. That's right here. So it's over my head. You gotta explain your pickup line to me.
Now you have my attention.
So
Alleviate me.
So
I don't want to hold this palette. You do it. You do it.
For anybody that doesn't
Extra
know, a
service.
palette is where you put your paint at. So that's where you get your paint while you're painting. And she allowed me to do so. So I was like, okay, that worked. So I'm standing there, I'm holding it, and I'm watching her create. So now I'm like, okay, what do I say next? I didn't think that far ahead. So I asked her just a few questions, and myself, I like to get straight to the deep stuff. Cut the small talk. So I asked her something, and I'm just listening to her, and I loved her responses. So I like to say that I fell in love with Cree's beauty first when she walked through the door. Then I fell in love with her creativity when I saw her at the canvas, and then I fell in love with her intelligence after I finally had the opportunity to get to know her. So that goes back to you what you were saying about
so nice.
the piece of art earlier.
That's beautiful.
I got to hug you after that.
I love you.
You're so sweet from day one.
So
You
Cree,
caught
how do
my
you recall the
attention.
story? No, that's
I was like, who is this guy?
He's
He
too
wants
smooth.
to hold my palette. Sure. You can hold it.
Was the friend
And then
you
I
were
turned
with?
around and smirked. What? I said, he's handsome. Well, he's asking me lots of questions. Not just questions like usual. I mean, what's your name? You
Yeah.
got another name, but not like, what are you doing after this? There was none of that. I like that Marquez presented himself and he was like, take it or leave it. I'm going to be just fine. And what that shows is confidence. I actually came to that party not wanting to talk to any guy at all. I made a vow to myself that I wasn't going to date for another 5 or 7 years. And I fell in love with Marquez. He
I
was
cracked the code.
smooth.
Keep going.
You're smooth. And acts of service is my love language.
Yeah.
And that's what he did right off the bat. I had a problem holding the palette and creating at the same time. This is a disaster. And he found a solution for that. So from then, he just showed me more and more of himself that I loved. There's one small thing, I don't know if you remember this, but I used to have this really creaky coffee table that would like shift back and forth.
Uh-huh.
And I remember one day Marquez came over with the toolbox and fixed it. And it didn't shift anymore. I said, oh my God, he's the one. Wow. I didn't have to ask. You just came and fixed it. And I was like, he must really like me.
I was just tired of the table. I just wanted
What?
to fix it.
No! Oh, okay.
I mean, that's just what kind of guy I am. If I see something that needs to be fixed, then I'm going to fix it.
That's good. That is good though. I wouldn't want it in a marriage. I wouldn't want it to necessarily just be about me. Like if you do see a problem, it is good to just go fix it, and that's what you did. So that was a good sign. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I hope there's a woman or a man or any person out there that watches this and hears you say acts of service is my love language and didn't know that about themselves before hearing you say that, and then is able to turn around and go, I get myself now. Because I feel like that's a pretty like introspective thing to understand about yourself, right? Like the thing that draws me into another human being is like the way that they attempt to help the world around them, right? And so having that self inventory and having all the right moves come together all at once. I mean, that's a pretty significant thing. I dig that. I dig that a lot.
Marquez is a walking like act of service. He's a big old act of service because he wants to. I mean, don't let me fully speak for you, but I know that you want to help people. You are on a mission to help humanity in whatever way you can, the best. And that's you show in like little ways in our relationship, and I see you doing it with other people, and it's just going to get bigger. I just wanted to say that you were a big old act of service.
Yeah, I really like that. I was like, oh, I love this woman and her language. Yeah.
You're a walking act of service.
Was there anything that drew you to be that person? Was there, or is this just like a natural? There's no events or series of that's brought you this way. You just were kind of born this way, and this is who you are.
I give all credit to my mother and my father, but specifically my mother, because she she raised me by herself since I was just about 5 years old. And I mean, she was an incredible woman that taught me everything that she knew about how to be a good human being. And at this point, it's just natural. You know, I care about the feelings of the human beings around me. And I you know, some people call themselves empaths. I guess I could be considered an empath. I just genuinely want to be a source of love, peace, and joy for those around me.
And then you went and had this beautiful little baby that everybody cares for. Now, was it your mother that was a filmmaker? Was it your mother that's a filmmaker?
That was my mommy. Shout out to Vic Lee.
Has she always been a filmmaker? Like growing up, like she was always in that line of work, even when you were a kid, or is this something that she developed into as you were getting older?
She has a baby picture of her playing around with the camera, and she when I was a kid, I grew up going on her sets time to time.
Oh no!
It's okay, my love.
Oh my child!
Did she finally do it?
Yeah, she rolled those.
Oh no! Oh man!
I know. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, no, and you feel it too, because now you just watch your baby hit their head and they're crying, and every bit of pain that they may feel, that you feel so much more through emotion. It's just, oh.
Yeah, it's okay. I know.
Yeah. Oh, now it's all good.
My mom used to tell me about how much I used to hit my head as a child. And she's like, you would hit your head so hard sometimes that I would really just like question, is this child gonna be okay? So I'm just thinking about that now. Like, you know, it's something that happens with babies.
Yeah.
You know.
You're just gonna hit your head.
Yeah, and you learn how to not hit your head through the process.
Oh my gosh, it's adorable.
Yeah.
You should just come right back up and just be fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I you know, that's why baby skulls are also, you know, nice and smushy, soft, and we can take a little thump here and there and work out just fine. Oh. But hey, we've, you know, there's some sort of, we've documented the thud. We'll go back through the podcast when it's all said and done, and we'll know the time at which that happened when we just hear, doom. Oh no!
Yeah, it's gonna be like, damn.
Yeah, I've been watching her. That was the one time I was.
Yeah. What do you want to hop in real quick with Masterpeace and wave goodbye to the camera once real quick? We'll cut it off so you guys can do diaper change and all that fun stuff, or do you want to do diaper change and keep talking? It's up to you.
I missed it. We're not done tonight, are we?
Oh no, it was, well, you were checking. I wasn't sure if she had a. And we're about an hour in. I'm not. We can both talk for as long as you guys would like, or we can talk for as short as you guys would like.
Okay.
And however you would like to handle Masterpeace now, take your time.
Yeah, I think maybe we could go for a quick diaper change and then we can get back into it.
Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna pause this, which is not something I normally do.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Soon.
Soon. Whenever
You'll
she
be
rests
ready
her head
soon.
like this, I know she's getting tired.
right. Keeping kids on the sleep schedule
How?
is. I mean, our kids are 10. I mean, just making sure that they go to bed at 8:30 every night is like, that solves so many other problems in life. Just a good sleep schedule for the kids.
Yeah.
It's more important than you'll ever know. So just a little parental advice coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not now.
Start now. No.
Maybe, yeah, no. There is no regular sleep schedule at this time. But 5, 7, 10, I'm sure 13, 16, 18 and beyond is still like important times. I don't even know like when to start bumping up there. Like they're 10 now. Do I start bumping up their age, their like sleep times when they're 11, when they're 14, when they're like, or just when they decide that 8:30 is not a good bedtime anymore? I don't know. I don't
I
have
had
to
a
answer
sleep
that question.
schedule.
That's such a great question. I remember, my mother, she was strict, but there was flexibility. Like there was like it was balanced, I'd say. But my bedtime was definitely like 10 o'clock for the longest time, and I would just, I'd be in the bed at 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. Like imagine somebody telling you to go to sleep right now. It's kind of like, no, I'm not ready yet. And I was wondering, like, when am I going to be able to stay up later?
I'm imagining you as like a little kid, like,
So I'm pretty sure I'm not the only kid. I go in my room, cut off the light, get under the covers, cut the TV off like I'm going to sleep, and then whenever you think the coast is clear, you cut the TV back on, but you'll cut the volume down. So you're just in there, watching it on like very low, or sometimes you just have the sound off. You're just watching. So I'd be, just laying there for God knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great question. Like, when do you upgrade? Like, you can stay up a little bit later now.
Mm-hmm.
the worst thing was when I would do that too, and I would turn Disney Channel. I loved Disney Channel when I was a kid. But if I had left the TV on loud, if I turn it back on, it'll just be boom loud. Like, hey, what's up? And next time I'll be like, that's a little kid. Like, turn it down.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was real strict. He'd be like, Cree, take your ass to bed. Or he'd come in and I'd pretend to be asleep. Like, I know you what. Take your ass to bed.
I'm real. Our daughter, every tablet. I got words for my kids right now. I need to not say these words on a podcast that people are going to listen to or watch. She'll hide under her covers with an iPad, with a Kindle, with a Switch, anything portable and electronic, and she's going through our like drawers and stuff. She's like actively looking. It's like we're hiding things at this point, right? Like I have her iPad. Or iPhone, it's whatever the super, like the phone sized but iPod, maybe it's an iPod Shuffle,
Like
whatever.
iPad Mini.
There you go. It's ballpark, something like that. I took it from her and I like put it in my desk, like parts of the house that I don't open or go look at because I don't need them. There's no reason but she went in and she like pulled out of this little drawer. And it's like, woo! And she's good. But she's good about not leaving breadcrumbs. Like it took us finding the iPod to know what she had done. And it's like, okay, I want to be mad, but I also want to like acknowledge that these are earnable skills that you have if you're able to be this sneaky.
Oh gosh.
But you need to use your powers for good.
Yeah.
use your sneakiness for good.
No, so I do just because I'm interested in the subject. The mom is a filmmaker, so you grew up on sets and stuff.
Yeah. As a kid, when you're a kid, sometimes you don't appreciate things. In hindsight, I do appreciate being exposed to that environment and my mother's creativity and her her willpower to chase her dream. That's definitely a huge part of why I'm not really afraid to chase my own dream. But back then, like, if anyone's ever been on a movie set before, you know how it is where you're going through one little scene with one little line and cut, do it again, cut, 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 do it again, again. And me as a 10-year-old kid, I'm like, oh, when is this gonna be over, Mom? I want to go home. She's like, Cree, like, you are very lucky to be here. Like, don't complain while you're here. I'm like, I want to go home. I didn't understand. But as I got a bit older, I was her assistant,
Nice.
her PA on set. I was there to help my mother with whatever, if like a role needed to be fulfilled. Sometimes I was a boom person. I've actually helped my mother film things with her, with my camera or her cameras, and I've just seen how a movie develops from start to finish.
Yeah.
And it always starts with my mom, like, just doing something, like cooking. She's like, Cree, what do you think about this? What do you think about this idea of, like, one of her latest films is a woman who has 2 boyfriends.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, Mom, that sounds cool. And then she goes and writes about it little by little every day. Then she's like, well, now I have a script for it. I'm like, oh, wow, you did that. And
Yeah.
then it turns into an actual vision of art on the big screen. And I love that about my mom. She's always told me, like, when you have an idea and if it's good, make sure you actually execute it from start to finish. Don't not finish it unless it's a shitty idea. But if you've got a good one, like, you have to put in work to make it into reality, and she does that all the time.
Yeah.
So shout out.
Moms. So
Mama
here's
bear.
a tough question on the other side of that, right? Because it sounds like you both have been, gone through some level of conditioning on the back end that has brought you to this point where you are young entrepreneurs and business people with vision, right? And like, let's say that the initial run of the Project Human X project, and I say initial run because projects grow and change all the time and it's never defined by a single physical space, right? But if this initial iteration of the project doesn't go through to the next stages like you want it to, like, how are you guys going to feel about it?
Ooh, that is a tough question.
It's going to.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like, this project will last forever. Art, this time period has helped me realize the perspective that the masses of human beings have on art. And right now we live in a time period where many people don't see art as essential, but art is. And we're making that known through the work that we're doing here in this community. Art is, without a doubt, the greatest way to connect human beings. And I like to call it the great connector. So, we're going to make the best art center that we possibly can here in Carbondale, first and foremost. And we're going to learn a lot. There's going to be tons of trials and tribulations. We've already experienced more than you could ever imagine. But we're going to take, this beautiful project here, and we're going to replicate it and build art centers in other communities around the world so that everyone has access to a space where they can go and create and gather as a community and celebrate, the different cultures of that community and the creativity of the individuals in those communities. So yeah, nothing's. We're going to do it.
I don't see
Yeah.
myself giving up on it. The question asked, like, I see it looking different, maybe in different places, and who knows what else we want to implement into Project Human X. Like, okay, this new art center also has a dance studio. Like, then it's transforming into, oh, Project Human X is a little different now. But Project Human X itself, I don't see dying, because Marquez and I just don't give up. we just, we're not
Yeah, my uncle, he said this to me one day, and it really, like, you know how sometimes somebody says one thing and it just like shifts your perspective, and you're like, yeah, I needed that idea. But he said there's no stop signs in God's world, and that really stuck with me. Like,
just speeding.
He's not speeding. He's just not stopping.
yeah, just
Those are
not
two
stopping.
things.
You know, like you can slow down, you can change direction, you can speed up, but the point is that nobody can stop you except for yourself.
I love to end these on like a lesson that is very clearly framed, and I think you just nailed it.
He always has big things to say. That was that was really motivating, Marquez.
You guys have big things to do. I mean, your words got to match your vision, and your vision's got to match your activity. And I think y'all got that. So I'm confident.
Thank you.
Thank you. But before we end this,
Absolutely.
I would like to give you gratitude for being who you are as a human being. I've only had the chance to interact with you now twice in person, and you have incredible energy. It feels good to be in your presence, and just thank you for this opportunity for us to share, a portion of our story with this community, and thank you for what you're doing for this community. So it really is a pleasure to be collaborating with you.
Absolutely. No, I'm excited for what we've talked about, and I love even more that we didn't talk about it at all on the podcast, right? Because now it'll be the last little like golden nugget here of like mystery until we kick off on the other side of things. But I can't be the person that I am without the community that this is, right? Like I'm so wrapped up in the identity of the town itself, like, because this is all I know. And like what I know is folks like yourselves, like coming here in one way, shape, or form for one reason or another, and then finding like their purpose in life and then properly pursuing that. So like, thank y'all for being here and doing what you're doing, because it is the energy that I feed off of myself. So it's a reciprocal feeling, and equally likely the reciprocal nature of the relationship as well. Now I'm getting all tongue tied up, getting way too emotional on this. This is the second time I'm going to cry tonight. Filming multiple podcasts. We're done. We're moving on. This was episode number 14 with Cree, Marquez, and Masterpeace. It was wonderful. Project Human X. You should support them. You should see what's going on. You should absolutely stay in tune and in touch with their story, because it's an amazing one, and it's only going to get more full, and there are only going to be more pages moving forward on in there. Again, I'm getting all tongue tied as I'm trying to outro this and get all like clever again. It ain't happening. Whatever. There's more to come. Stick around. Keep watching. Not just WTF Carbondale, but these folks right here and what they're doing at Project Human X. Have a good one, whatever that one may be.